Documenting the human condition is firmly rooted in truth. It is the photographer's obligation to not only shoot what's there, but as American novelist, screenwriter, and journalist James Agee said, "In every other art which draws directly on the actual world, the actual is transformed by the artist's creative intelligence into a new and different kind of reality, aesthetic reality. In the kind of photography we're talking about here, the actual is not at all transformed. The task of the artist is not to alter the world as the eye sees it into a world of aesthetic reality, but to perceive the aesthetic reality within the actual world, and to make an undisturbed and faithful record of the instant." The kind of beauty he records may be so monumentally static, as in much of the work of Matthew Brady, Hussein Atget, and Walker Evans, that the undeveloped eye is too casual or wandering to recognize it. Or it may be so filled with movement, so fluid and so transient, as in much of the work of Cartier-Bresson and of Helen Levitt, that the undeveloped eye is too slow and too generalized to foresee and to isolate the most illuminating moment. Many aspects must be considered when making street photographs: exposure, meaning behind the composition, anonymity, pressing the button at the right time. It may seem daunting to a photographer who is just discovering the genre. James Agee also spoke about luck and how it is a cardinal creative force at work in the universe, one which a photographer has the unique equipment for collaborating with because of the need to rely on intuition and feeling rather than intellect. It has nothing to do with photographic ability. Street photography is rooted in the chaos of life happening in front of all of us. While there is no way of ensuring luck, a photographer can learn to be a better observer and practice.
Or going out to make a beautiful street photograph for me usually is I'll see something and it starts to unfold in front of me. I'll get the camera out, get it ready, and I'll shoot a couple of frames. And in the back of my mind, I kind of remember it. I think you should explore street photography with a film camera and a digital camera. The film will make your digital photography better because light is light. If you don't understand light, you're in a world of hurt, because all the trouble you can get into is because you'll think it'll be easy to process things in your computer and they'll never look quite right. So you should understand how light works on things, the times of day to shoot, and then don't worry about the time of day because things happen when they happen. You can't break the rules of photography. You can bend them. If you break them, you get nothing. If you bend them, you can get some wonderful things.
I hope that you look at other photographers' work that you like. No matter how much you know about your camera, whether it's a rangefinder or SLR or whatever, just go out and shoot. Don't burn film, but go out with a purpose and having work you enjoy in the back of your mind. Look for things. I never know what I'm going to see. Perhaps because I'm used to shooting in Los Angeles, I'm not as surprised about certain things as I am shooting in Europe. In Napoli, I've seen processions revolving around something religious. In France, I've seen protests of tens of thousands of people break out of nowhere. I've walked around a corner in Scandinavia and watched someone learning to walk a tightrope. Street photography is tied to some visual lottery. You never know what you're going to get. However, if you know how to observe photographically, you'll of course increase your chances of making a good photograph. Don't worry about doing what you have to do to make the photo. Don't listen to your internal dialogue. Listen to your gut. Don't be stupid, but get the photo. I hear the complaint that I live in a small town and nothing happens here. And I smile because I wish I had more time to shoot in places where there aren't so many people. There are moments there too. Photos are everywhere. You just have to know how to look.
When you just started to do street photography, then simply dare to shoot. Street is a lot about experience and routine. There isn't much time to focus and compose, so you have to be one with the camera. The right tool, therefore, is important. When you shoot a lot, you'll get the feeling for a moment before it even happened, and that's the key for good street shots. For the perfect shot, you need to be very skilled and quick at the same time. For an interesting way of seeing things, you need to have an eye for the subtle and then the talent to capture it in this way. Of course, the best is when people can combine both things. A good street shot is either the perfect documentation of an interesting moment or the way something got documented that makes a rather ordinary situation look special.
Street photography is the most level playing field of all photographic genres, yet also the most difficult. No matter the photographer's experience, the photographic challenges exist just the same. What distinguishes an experienced street photographer from someone who hasn't practiced as much is the talent of observation. No matter what you do, the best way to get better is to practice. Look at things photographically, even when not photographing.
Street photography is my golf. I get just about as much exercise, and it's something that requires me to be very patient. I make better photographs when I'm relaxed. Whether I'm shooting film and have to wait for a while, or digital and I get to see them as fast as my Mac ingests them to aperture, it always seems like a present. Lots of little surprises. Like life, some of the surprises are beautiful, some tense, some happy. To me, they're all amazing in one way or another. Photographically, there's nothing like it. And yes, I'll always chase the perfect frame. Even though I know it doesn't exist, doesn't stop me from trying, nor should it stop you. There is nothing I like shooting more than street photographs.
Patrick Kahn said that what makes a good street photograph is the storytelling element, the candid emotion caught, and went on to explain, it captures the essence of a situation and enables the viewer to enter into the subject's life and imagine what led to that moment and what the impact of that moment has in relation to the subject and its environment. Good street photography is intuitive. Photographers capture moments as they feel them. They are perceptive and true observers. They can anticipate and discover the unseen to the unexperienced eye. They understand the role in every detail of a scene that plays in relation to the focal point of interest. Framing and angles are key to the narrative and emotion. After more than 50 years, a woman named Sharon Goldstein recognized herself in one of photographer Robert Frank's photographs entitled Elevator Girl. In an interview, she recently said, "He saw in me something that most people didn't see. I have a big smile and a big laugh, and I'm usually pretty funny. So people see one thing in me. And I suspect Robert Frank saw something that was deeper, that only people who were really close to me can see. It's not necessarily loneliness, it's dreaminess." Besides luck, observation, compassion, and readiness of one's equipment, Cartier-Bresson said, "In photography, the smallest thing can be a great subject. The little human detail can become a leitmotif." Such is street photography, documenting the human condition.